To the webinar. This is Eric Holmlund. I'm here along with Jeff Wellman and Paul Counts, and we're going to be talking about webinars and more specifically Webinar Fusion Pro. And so we've got a couple of different things that we're kind of testing out tonight. One of which is the live chat feature, and so I see that many of you are already
Yep.
taking advantage of that feature. We've got quite a few greetings coming in. We've got uh, Jim says, I got the risky page message.
Yeah, that's a message that a few people are getting through, through Facebook. I know Facebook had flagged some things, but actually, as I'll show you guys in the back end here, they actually corrected that. So, they actually made it work. So, they corrected that. And Fozzie, we're going to make a believer out of you by the time this is all over. So, all right. So, so let's, I guess without further ado, we're kind of just, wanted to show you guys a little bit about how this works. I think before we really get going, why don't we talk a little bit, Jeff, about, I know webinars have been a big part of all of our businesses, and, obviously we use it with our coaching club, but one of the best, Jeff and I really built our businesses up doing a lot of webinars. So, Jeff, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure, and I want to welcome everybody to the call myself. But Paul and I, when we first got started, actually one of the first things that I did when I got started was actually to start holding live events like this, and it was a way for me to put myself out there, and it was a choice that I had to make because I was like, I didn't feel like I had the credibility. I didn't feel like I was the expert. I didn't really feel like basically I didn't feel like I deserved to be in that light like everybody was putting me in and stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to get myself out here somehow. How am I gonna do this? And my son was like, well, you can start doing teleseminars or webinars. And it was like, okay, what's that and all involved? And he started talking to me about them. And I remember the first time that I started doing webinars, and I just basically threw myself out there with the training and the knowledge that I had. And Paul, I think you were like on one of those very first ones that I did.
Yeah.
That was kind of how you and we kind of got started a little bit after we actually met at a live event offline. But
Yep.
we started kind of doing these things together and stuff, and our collective knowledge we brought in together on these, and started really connecting with our audience in a whole new way instead of just through email. It made it more personal. People were able to interact with us, and they got to know us on a completely different level than what they were when we were actually just emailing back and forth to our customers or our subscribers. And it just went from there. And Paul and I, we decided after we'd been in a partnership for a while, we decided to really take it to a different level and stuff, and we started doing a lot of trainings with our list where we would just do all we did was we would just put together trainings we wanted to give to our list. It was just, join us. We're going to be on here live. You're going to be able to see our screen. You're going to be able to see the training, ask questions, and we just did this as a way to provide extra value to our customers and our subscribers, and to basically win them over, for them to allow to get to know us. And then we decided after a while, it's like we're using the webinar platform to create a lot of our products. We would use PowerPoint. We would have our training up there, and we would use this to make a lot of our recordings and stuff for our products and stuff. And Paul and I decided one day, it's like, let's try something. Let's try selling our product basically before it's ever even really created. We're going to bring our viewers onto our webinar. We're going to give them the training, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to say, we're going to be, for the next 6-7 weeks in a row, we're going to be doing these webinars of this live training, and at the end of the webinar, or at the end of each webinar, we were showing them what they were going to get, what was ahead and stuff, but we were also offering them for a limited time until, basically we got, I think each week we raised the price, if I remember right, Paul. But we would go through and we would say, at the end of this 6-week training, this is going to be offered as a private label right product to our list. It's going to be a product that we're going to be launching and stuff. But as a viewer, as a subscriber, as one of our members, you're able to come on here and you're able to get it at a huge discount right now. You know, you're seeing what kind of trainings here. You're seeing, you know, the quality of what you're going to be getting. This is a list of what you're going to get. We showed them the graphics they were going to get and everything with it. And we ended up, I mean, just doing that. I mean, we cleared, I think, 100,000 or whatever just that first year and stuff, just doing webinars like that.
Yeah. It was powerful. It really was, and it was all about engaging with their audience, you know. And they got to a big part of marketing. And then I didn't mean to cut you off right there, but a big part of marketing is to get people to know, like, and trust you. And what better way than to do a webinar where people can, you know, sometimes people pick up how they feel about somebody based on their voice, or just they get a feeling, you know, just from hearing them speak or what they're saying. And a big factor of marketing, especially in this space, is knowing, liking, and trusting people. And so you can accomplish all three of those things with a webinar. And so that's one reason we absolutely love using them.
Exactly, and we did. I mean, Paul and I, we would do the trainings. We would stay on the call afterwards, you know, to answer questions and stuff about the training, what they were going to get if they had it. But also, we just, you know, we took that as an advantage to us, and to basically just, hey, whatever questions you got about marketing is kind of similar to what we kind of do in our coaching clubs now. Say, hey, we're going to stick around now, whatever kind of questions you got. So we built even more and added even more value to them to show up. And, you know, we used it for, you know, basically we sold a lot of our product before it was ever created, because we were connecting with our audience in a completely different way than through the email, where you basically have to have the product complete. You have to have it ready to go and say, here, this is what you're going to get, and send that email blast out to everybody. But this way, the people that were really interested in what you had to say, they were showing up to these webinars, and you know, and we use these webinars each week to kind of let people know what was happening. You know, every week we would, you know, let them know what some of the questions and things like that, to really draw people into them. And we ended up creating a huge following and stuff through these webinars. And even after we kind of quit for a while, our list was like, hey, you need to do more of these. Are you ever going to bring this back and do these things? And, you know, and it's, you know, Paul and I keep talking, it's like, I'm not sure why we're not doing that anymore. But
it's this tool makes it fairly, you know, very easy. I'm going to actually show you guys how to set up a webinar. And I want to address a couple things that I saw come through here. Javier pointed out, he said he's watching this on a mobile device. That right there is to me a cool factor, because, you know, as Eric will attest, I mean, we all know that mobile is absolutely enormous in this day and age. And so the fact that people can view this on their phone, I think is a huge feature. What do you think, Eric?
Yeah, I think that's a really great feature. And, you know, one thing that I'll just mention right now for those of you that are watching this webinar is you've probably noticed that, you know, whoever's talking, that's who shows up on the screen. You know, it just automatically toggles between me and Jeff and Paul, and obviously this is based around the Google Hangout platform, and that's one thing that I think is really slick and is a major edge over GoToWebinar. You know, for those of you that have you know, been on our coaching calls in the past, you know, I mean, there's no feature like that in GoToWebinar. I believe it is possible to do a webcam, but it's not slick like it is in the Google Hangouts. I mean, you know, you can see Paul's using a live webcam.
Yeah.
Me and Jeff just have, you know, just a plain old profile picture up. You know, we could have all been using webcams. All three of us could be live, and you'd be seeing us, you know, speaking live. But, you know, I don't know, my office is a mess, and I didn't feel like setting up a webcam right now. So, you know, that's one of the advantages of this, you know, the system. You can do it either way. But just the slickness of it, to where it automatically toggles between who's speaking, makes it just such a great platform for delivering content as a group, you know. So that's one thing I just wanted to point out right off the bat.
Oh, I think that's great. And then a feature here that I'm about to show you guys, you know, well, here's one thing, and I'm going to address it because people are mentioning it, but the GoToWebinar monthly fee, I mean, that's the thing. This is a one-time monthly fee, and really what this does is this makes Google Hangouts, which is free, but that Webinar Fusion supercharges Google Hangouts. So you can actually get the feeling of an actual webinar, whereas Google Hangouts, people are just there hanging out. You don't have all these advanced registration features, which we're going to show you here shortly. You don't have all the features that Webinar Fusion has, and it's a one-time fee, and to me, that's extremely valuable because GoToWebinar is going to run you $499 a month now. If you're on the grandfather pricing, which Jeff is on, not because he's a grandfather, but because he was grandfathered in. But you know, when Jeff has it, his the pricing is $99 a month, which still is $99 a month, which is still more every single month than what this is gonna cost. You know, your investment is in Webinar Fusion. So right there, it's absolutely huge. And you know, Henry just mentioned using this on his iPad. You know, and the mobile part is enormous. So let me jump here. I'm going to do some screen sharing. If that works.
Yeah. Before you do that, Paul, I just want to, you know, I don't want it to sound like this is just a pitch or anything like that. It's not. But you know, just in case some people have to leave this webinar early, I wanted to let them know, you know, our special links where they can buy. You know, where they can sign up for Webinar Fusion, because the price is actually going up in was it like 2 hours from now?
Just a couple hours, yeah, just a couple of hours actually.
Let's see. Right now it's 7:43 my time. That's 9:43 Eastern. The price goes up at midnight Eastern. So from right now we're looking at 2 hours and 15 minutes until the
And then you guys should see in your chat window the link that'll take you right on over to Webinar Fusion. And also, you guys should see something cool. Yeah, notice Jupiter Jim, he just said, nice little scroll at the bottom. You guys should be seeing, scrolling at the bottom of your screen, a message. And we could type whatever message we want in there. And I tell you what, you can't do that with GoToWebinar. And so we wanted to kind of show off that feature for you guys with that alert message. So you guys can see how that's working. So I'll show you guys one more time. You see that going across your screen? And that's the link that you guys can pick this up at and get our bonuses that we have for you guys, you know, today for buying through our link, which are auto-delivered through JVZoo. But go to your chat window. There's your link. You know, so this is it's a great software, though. It's absolutely great software for a one-time fee. Whether it's basic or not, the fact that it's a one-time fee is to me enormous. That's for us. That's one reason that we're really attracted to it. Mainly for us, the main attraction though is the mobile optimization and the fact that it comes off as an MP4. We had a lot of issues with getting replays out because they were GoToWebinar, which had a confusing codec behind it, and we can actually get these saved as an MP4. And we don't even have to think about uploading the video. It automatically goes straight to YouTube, and then I can download it. And if we're doing a private webinar, we can just list that as a private video and just delete it after we download the recording from YouTube. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. So go ahead.
Exactly. That was a huge advantage for us. I mean, we've had so many troubles with the you know, those GoToWebinar WMV files and getting the codecs to play on everyone's computers. And you know, this really is a lot more flexible in that regard. And we can download an MP4 replay, which is really universal. I mean, we're going to be able to have that be played by anyone. And so that's awesome, Paul.
Definitely. Excuse me, guys. I gotta move so you
can
I've
see
been
there.
Better.
I've been to Paul's house a couple of times, and that really is the view from his deck there. It's pretty sweet. Of course, I got to get
enlightenment. What's that?
I've got a good view from my house too, but it's different. I don't have a view of the water like you do.
Yeah, it's a mountain. You got a mountain view there, though. Really cool. Yep. Devil's backbone.
Yep. So as we mentioned, the price is going up at midnight Eastern time. I think Fozzie mentioned that's for the basic package, and that's correct. It's the basic package, which is a great package, and it's the price right now is around like $50, isn't it? Something like that.
$50. Henry just pointed out it's $51. So yeah, it's just $51.
Yeah, so the price just keeps going up. You know, it started at like, you know, 47 or something. It's just been going up, you know, a little bit every day. But at midnight, it's going to jump up to like $100, 97 or 100. So it's going to be a very significant jump. And so that's why we just want to make sure everyone was aware of that. And we are going to do a demonstration of it. Paul's going to show it on his screen. And I've got a few more tips to give about webinars as well. But we can go ahead and do the demo first.
Okay, perfect. So you guys should be seeing my screen right now, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay, excellent. All right, so I am inside here.
And right there, see, just notice how seamless that was. I mean, Paul just transitioned from you know, live action webcam right over to his screen, And
Yeah.
again, it's like we could, and then I could be doing the same thing. So we've got all these different options. It's such a great platform for multiple presenters, whether it's whether you're presenting alone or if it's multiple presenters. It's just a great platform.
It really is, and when you log in, this is what your dashboard looks like. It gives you an idea of how many webinars you have queued up, upcoming webinars with their dates, but here's the most important feature. So you're going to go up here to create a new webinar. So we'll just go down here, create a new webinar, and what you're going to do, you just plug in your information. So I'm just going to plug in real quick. We'll say demo webinar, how to live your dream in Poulsbo. All right. So the date and time, we're going to go, let's say we're going to do this webinar on the 20th, and it's set for New York time. You can actually pick really any time zone that you prefer, and it does go off the Army time, so you just subtract 12 from these. Jeff could actually tell you a little more how to do Army time better than I could. So let's say we want to do it at 8 o'clock. So we're going to do it at 2000 or 200. So now we're going to go to Save Module. Here's another thing I wanted to show you guys that I feel is a powerful feature. You can actually add a document here. So I could just click on Add a Document, and I can actually upload a PowerPoint, a Word document, or a PDF file, and it will actually show right in line. So it actually would have me talking to you guys, and then you could actually see my PowerPoint slides at the same time. And so that's really cool as well, because then people are kind of getting, it's almost like that live event feel, like you're sitting at a live internet marketing event, where you're seeing the slides and seeing the presenter. And you don't have to do that too. You could do just like what we're doing here, where you don't have to do the vMerge. You could actually just show a PowerPoint presentation on your screen, and they don't even have to know what you look like if you don't want. So it really, that part is pretty powerful as well. So we'll come down here. You can actually make this a live or recorded event. So you can actually get there's a sign-up confirmation email. One thing I kind of glazed over here that to me is also another great feature is you can choose your autoresponder. So they integrated this with Aweber, GetResponse, MailChimp, One Shopping Cart, Constant Contact, and so that means you can actually integrate this with whatever your autoresponder is. So let's say I'm using Aweber. I would just put in my form ID, and every time somebody visits the registration page, they're actually going to be taken on and put onto my Aweber list, which that's another big benefit of hosting webinars, is that if you get people mailing into webinars for you, it's a great lead generation tool. And the fact that they integrated this directly with Aweber is fantastic. And you don't need to have an autoresponder either, because they have this set up so it does sign-up confirmation emails. It does, the confirmation emails. It will actually do notification reminders, which I'll show you here in a moment. There's just so many things to customize here that makes it fun. Like, you can do it very quick and set up a webinar, or you could take your time and really just kind of make it, your own. So I'm just going to plug in, let's say, just put in my name here, and put in my email, which you don't have to put in your email actually, so we'll just go with that. Then I could upload my picture, so I could choose a picture to upload in there, if I wanted to do that. So let's just go here to pictures, and let's go to the headshot pictures, and we'll just upload that. So click on Save Changes there. And let's say I want to add another presenter here. So we can add in, let's say we just throw in Eric, and then choose my file. So it's super simple, it's super seamless for just going back and forth. And again, I'm just browsing, here for where I have it located all. And we got Eric's picture there. Then I'll throw Jeff in there just again to show you guys how simple that was. So go back to presenter, and we'll add another presenter. So I'm going to add Jeff Wellman here. And there's Jeff's picture. And then there you go. So now I go over here to registration page, and there's actually all these different templates I can choose from. So I could choose to go with this blue template. We'll go with green. I know Jeff's a fan of green, so we'll go with that. I could choose to put a logo up here. So if we had a logo to insert, I could plug that in there. Otherwise, we don't need to.
So I'll chime in for just a moment, because I see several people asking if it's possible to zoom in. on your screen. They're saying they're having a hard time reading the text.
Okay.
However, I can read it just fine. I'm guessing that most people can probably see it pretty well right now. They're just talking about like the entire, because you're showing your entire desktop right now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so
there's actually a button there that says make it full screen that they could actually click on that will actually make, so like it'll do away with the chat window, but it'll make it full screen, so they're going to see the full screen on their computer. And then if they want to chat, they could just go exit full screen and go back to the chat window.
So if you guys that are having trouble, because I mean it's crystal clear to me. I mean there's no fuzziness. I mean I can see Paul's screen totally clear. So you're saying, Paul, they could do a maximize that to full screen, and they should be able to see it.
There should be an option.
Jupiter Jim, okay.
Jupiter Jim, I think, did it.
Yeah, he said he's still having a hard time. There should be a gray full screen button. Anyhow, that's something. I mean, we can keep that in mind for future, webinars. We can try to just basically have a bigger display on the source screen. In other words, this is what you're looking at right now is basically a browser window on Paul's computer.
Yeah.
And so, what Paul could theoretically do is actually increase the size of all the text, in that browser window, and therefore we could actually broadcast it, with bigger text.
Help?
Yeah, actually, he just made it bigger just now.
There you go.
So it is possible. So I think between that and being able to maximize it on your own screen while you're viewing it, you should be able to do it pretty well. And I mean, it's not it's not any worse off than GoToWebinar or any other platform. I mean, this
no.
I mean, GoToWebinar, there's really not a lot of options there. You're just basically showing your desktop.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, totally. So yeah, no, exactly. I'm gonna do a plug for your hosting, Eric.
Yeah.
So right here, I'm actually setting up a webinar offer, which actually works really slick as well. So that means at a certain time, or actually throughout the webinar, there's going to be an offer displaying the entire time, which is so much better than GoToWebinar, because before with GoToWebinar, you would have to tell people to go type it into their browser. Do you remember those days, Jeff, when we used to have to do that? And now you can have a button that's right there, so it makes it way easier.
Yep, we either had a. Well, I mean, I think you could.
You can do it in the chat window, but like the fact that you can do a button that's customized, so like I could actually put like a full-blown yellow button that's going to draw attention as well, and that I like that feature.
Yeah, we're like, you have to here's the link, show it on a PowerPoint or something, go type that in, and this is where you go. And otherwise, I mean, you could do it in the chat window and stuff, but a lot of people weren't. They were like, where did that? And you had to do it over and over. So this is a really cool feature.
And so the one thing I just jumped over, they have a poll feature. So if you want to do a poll throughout your webinar to find out maybe what your audience wants to know about, or just something about your audience, getting them in front of a live event, getting information from your audience is valuable to your marketing. And so you could actually do this very simply and seamlessly by creating polls within this software as well. So you could find out kind of where they are with their business, what kind of training they might want in the future. Lots of ways you could do that.
The other thing I'm going to throw in here real quick, because I see a little more discussion about this, the various Zoom features and full screen and whatnot.
Yeah.
This is based on this is actually the Hangout platform. What you're seeing is actually Google's technology. So this is not, our friends, came up with Webinar Fusion Pro. Our friends, Lester Lim, Jonathan Tang, they basically they created this Fusion platform, which kind of melds the best of both worlds. But as far as what you're seeing on your screen, that's Google's technology, and believe me, Google's got the best technology in the world. So, yep. I mean, this is really, what you've got at your fingertips is as good as you're going to find anywhere.
Exactly. That's a really good point. And it's a very, very good point. And the thing that they basically just supercharge Hangout, because with Hangout, you can't have registration pages. You can't have the thank you pages. You can't have the automatic emails. Basically, you get a link and you have to share it with your audience. You can't build a list with it. You can't do offers. You can't do the automatic replays. There's just so many things that you can't do with Hangouts that you can do with this tool. And that's why it's so worth the one-time investment. The email notification feature, I love this part. So this is very similar to Right on Par, and they actually send it for you unless you're using your own autoresponder, which you could totally do that if you wanted more control. But I could edit any of these, but you could actually go through here and just delete these if you wanted to, and then you could actually just use your own Aweber follow-up as well for each webinar that you do. But they automate it for you, so I may as well just stick with that. Subscribers, actually, as you get your subscribers, you can download them as a CSV file, and then you could import them into your autoresponder of choice, because they will let you import it if they registered through a valid event like a webinar. But again, why do that? Because they integrate it with Aweber. So if you're going to go that route, you don't even need to worry about having to download the list. The thank you page, you can actually do a custom page or redirect them to maybe a special offer after they sign in. That to me is a pretty powerful feature as well. And so we got to customize. We'll go with the green theme since we're going with that. So again, I could type in anything I want on this screen here, and I could just pick if I want to make it a heading. So we'll say hello, and we'll save those changes. And so it's just super easy, point and click, simple as well. The replay, do you want to show a recorded webinar page? We could say yes, and then that will be a replay people would have access to, or you could say no. And then this to me is really awesome because it gives you all the webinar registration links. And so if I click here, so in just a few clicks of my mouse, I created a really slick looking opt-in page. I think it looks smooth. It looks very professional. Of course, you could upload your own logo here, or you could just upload, blank space, or there's ways you could do it without even having this up here. But you can, you can really customize this, and it's mobile friendly too. So if you look at this on a phone, an iPad, whatever it is, whatever tablet, Samsung Galaxy, it's going to look, seamless. It's going to look really sharp. And so, so that's the registration page that we created. Here's the button. This kind of answers the question. There were people saying, "Hey, we're having issues with." With our link getting flagged by McAfee or with Facebook. Well, they actually fix that for you. They have this link to share in Facebook, and it's the same link you get here, but it's WFPREG. And so these guys are actually very, they're on top of their game. So they're on top of that. They saw that issue come about and they fixed it right away. And so again, it's the exact same link, but you could actually use that URL if you're having, if it makes you feel comfortable. So that'll solve that. The webinar guest link, this link right here, you could actually, another thing too, so you're not having to copy and paste, I could do it simpler. Just click copy to clipboard, and that's going to copy that to my clipboard, and then I can actually click, go here and just send people straight to my webinar page, and watch, it'll have a countdown on it. So webinar will start in 1 day, 21 hours, 59 minutes. And so what you can do with this is, like, if you're going to do just an impromptu webinar to your list, you could send them straight there, or if you got maybe members, coaching members that you want to share them with, you could go that route as well. This is kind of the thank you page we set up. Again, you can customize this fully with your own offer. This is the replay page as well that's set up of the demo webinar. It allows people to invite their friends on it. It's got presenters down here, and then right here would be the replay, would play right here. And so there's lots of flexibility. What else am I missing? Oh, this is the other really powerful feature that I'm missing here. Right here, you can actually embed your registration form into whatever autoresponder you want, or whatever kind of page you want to create. So if you have a landing page you're happy with, you could actually just embed that code right there, which I feel is absolutely awesome. One of the other features that I absolutely loved was the fact that you can actually embed, do an iframe on webinars, so we could actually show our webinars within, like, Eric's Tips blog if we wanted to. So Eric could do an impromptu webinar with his people, and it would use Eric's Tips branding, which I could see some powerful uses for that too. So so without further ado here, we'll just kind of jump in answer more questions you guys may have. But that was kind of in a nutshell. Again, they have different training back here. They have a great helpful people, their support desk ready to help you. You've got page templates, of course. Different upgrade levels will have different access to various bonuses as well. But as far as just out of the box, what you're getting for the $50, the one-time fee, is absolutely phenomenal. So you can't beat that. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, and I'm going to jump in back to the Hangout area, and you guys should see me again.
Yep, we see you again.
All right, there we go.
We see you, and it looks like it's getting a little darker.
It is starting to.
Setting over the Pacific Northwest.
Yep.
So we got a few questions there. So a few people are still grappling with the fact that it's the text seemed fuzzy. Again, I mean, this is as good as the technology gets. I mean, I saw Elder, you mentioned that you've seen clear text on GoToMeeting. There's a lot of factors there. I mean, what you were seeing just now was a live stream of Paul's desktop, and Paul is sitting here on a hilltop in the Pacific Northwest, and streaming that to the web, through who knows what route, and then ending up on your computer screen. I'm assuming Google probably has some sort of a buffering system, and they're probably throttling that the bit rate depending on any number of variables.
I would imagine.
And so the technology is as good as it gets. I mean, I'm sure it would probably only continue to improve. I mean, Google's not gonna. It seems like Hangouts are here to stay. So I'm really not concerned about it. This is me and Paul and Jeff have really decided that we like this platform a lot. We're going to keep using it.
And it's only going to get better. And again, somebody said, how can you hide the chat window? You can make it full screen, which should actually enable you to see it all the way. Another way to do it, because like my computer automatically did this, it took my Hangout page here and it made it smaller on my screen. But you could actually go right up by the red X and actually maximize that screen as well. So you could actually maximize the screen, so then it fills your entire screen up as well. So if you're having a hard time seeing, that's another option. So let's see here. So let me throw that link down here for you guys one more time here. And whoops, that's the wrong link.
I don't know if you guys heard that. I was just looking at Webinar Jam.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, so we had a few questions about Webinar Jam. As far as what's the difference between Webinar Fusion and Webinar Jam? I personally have not used Webinar Jam. I've seen it, so I couldn't really comment on a personal level in terms of if one's better than the other. But I can just say, I've used this one and it's great. So
I can say I actually have both. The difference, really, to me, the difference was I spent $497 for Webinar Jam and $47 for this. So that tells you the difference right there. It was about a 90% difference in price. So I felt like it was comparable. It's similar, but you're going to pay a premium, so it's really up to you as far as what you want to spend. I feel like they did it a lot of work, and to get it for less than for $50 or so right now, 51 I think at this point is absolutely phenomenal. The scroll is not clickable, but the part in the chat window is, and actually if we had set up an offer beforehand, that actually would be clickable for you. So you'd be seeing that in like the bottom right corner here. You would actually be seeing a a clickable button as well down there.
So it looks like Lester actually joined our webinar, and he had answered the question in the chat window. He said it basically has the same features as Webinar Jam, plus several unique technologies such as the vMerge, the Infinity technology, and like Paul said, most of all, it's a one-time fee now instead of recurring, and it's also a much smaller fee. So for that price, it's pretty hard to go wrong. This is it's like if you're already using webinars, you really don't have a whole lot to lose here by giving this a try. I mean, there's even a money-back guarantee on it, so it's a pretty small price to try something else. And if you're not already using webinars, I mean, in my opinion, that makes it even more of a no-brainer, because it's kind of like, this is such a small price to get involved in such a powerful technology. Jeff mentioned a couple of reasons why webinars are so powerful. For example, he talked about how him and Paul were able to start selling products before they were even created.
Yeah.
And that's a big obstacle for a lot of newbies, and even experienced marketers. I mean, coming up with a product to sell can be very difficult. But if you have something to teach, you can teach that through webinars, because webinars are a great teaching platform, and you can sell that webinar series or the webinar, whatever the course is that you're teaching. You can sell it, and then you can perform those webinars after you sell it. It's also a great way. So in addition to being the product, it's also the perfect sales tool, because you can close sales more effectively in a lot of cases. It's kind of like a sales video. Most of you know about VSLs, video sales letters, and how they've really kind of taken over the industry. Video sales letters convert better than straight copy alone. Most people have found that, at least in the majority of niches. And webinars, in many cases, have been found to have much higher conversion rates than a VSL. For example, you could have like a high-ticket product that's maybe like a $997 product, and you might have a VSL that promotes that converts 1 or 2% conversion rate, which would actually be a really good conversion rate for a VSL on a high-ticket product. But you could take that same product and sell it on a webinar, and I've seen as high as 40% conversion rates. I've seen 20 to 40% conversion rates. I've seen personally over $100,000 of sales just on one webinar.
Exactly.
And so it's a great sales tool, whether it's a one-time webinar or whether it's a series of webinars. And that really kind of depends on what you're selling. If it's a low-ticket product, then maybe just a one-time webinar would do it. If you're selling something that's expensive, maybe it's like a $5,000 coaching program in your particular niche, you might want to do 3 or 4 or 5 webinars as a series that is basically establishing trust with your audience and pitching them over the course of those several webinars. And a great thing about webinars over just a typical VSL is that they tend to keep people's attention even better than a video sales letter. We've done tons of webinars, both for coaching and for selling, and we found that people actually stick around. I mean, right now we've got a whole bunch of people on this webinar, and they're here. They're listening to us. You guys are here listening to us.
Look at the engagement over here. It's fantastic. I mean, like,
the engagement's huge. I mean, it's a great way to keep people's attention, because it's especially when it's live. I mean, there's also the option to do the whole automated webinar thing. That's almost a whole nother discussion. I mean, it's a tactic that it works in some situations as long as you're being honest, right? If you're being honest about it and doing it in a manner of integrity, then those automated webinars can be a great way to automate your business. But especially in the case of a live webinar, it really, really keeps people's attention better than almost anything, probably better than anything else that you can do on the internet. Okay, because it's live interaction. I haven't found anything else that actually keeps people's attention better on the internet than a webinar. And in fact, the longer that you can keep someone's attention, the more likely you're going to be to make a sale. Okay, I found that with my sales videos. For example, if they stick around for the first 15 minutes of the sales video, they're going to be a lot more likely to purchase the product than someone who stuck around only for the first 5 minutes. And with a webinar, often you've got someone's attention for 15, 20 minutes, and then sometimes an hour or more. Paul, Jeff, and I have actually done webinars that have gone more than 3 hours long.
Oh, yeah.
And we've ended those webinars with most of our participants still there. Exactly. I mean, it's incredible. We've had hundreds of people stick around with us for 3-hour marathon webinars, and so it's a great way to keep people's attention, and that equals a great way to make sales. As I already mentioned, it's a great way to demonstrate. So you just saw Paul demonstrate the Webinar Fusion platform. Obviously, the potential there is unlimited. Anything that you can do on your computer screen, you can do it in a webinar. And with this technology, especially with this Google Hangout technology, where you can stream live video, like Paul's got a webcam here. I mean, he could technically be standing in front of a whiteboard, you know,
Oh, totally.
with a lapel mic, and be teaching that way. I mean, there's all kinds of applications that you can apply to this technology. And then, as Jeff also had mentioned, the relationship aspect of it. You know, you've all heard that money is in the list. You know, and then we take it a step further and say the money is in the relationship with the list. And you know, when you're online, there are a few different ways that you can build relationships with people with a mass audience all at once. One of them is through email, one of them is through social media. Webinars are a great way to build relationships because you kind of have more of a personal interaction, and especially in the case like where if you're going to use a webcam, I mean, that's a great way to build trust and allow people to get to know you. And instead of having to take, you know, it's not like taking the time to get to know every one of your subscribers individually. You're able to build a relationship with 100 people all at once. So webinars are really powerful in that regard. And then also, as Paul mentioned, with list building, you know,
Huge.
I mean, even if this tool was not integrated with Aweber, it would still be a great lead generation tool because webinars in general are fantastic lead generation tools. Okay, you can give away content on a webinar and have people sign up for that, and when they sign up, they're added to your list. There are many ways that you can use it as a powerful lead generation tool. List building is probably the most, the biggest thing that that the three of us emphasize in our business models that we teach. Everyone needs to be list building, and webinars are a great way to ramp up your list building. So again, just wanted to throw out a few more reasons why we think webinars are great, and if you're not doing any webinars currently, this would be a very affordable way to get started. I mean, it's like $51 now?
$51, yeah. And somebody just asked the question, what's the limit? What's the maximum capacity? And the answer is none. I mean, if you can get 100,000 plus people on here, go for it, because people do Hangouts that large. You are actually only limited by the power of Google, so that gives you an idea right there.
Right, and one of the things that Eric was talking about, the higher ticket price and stuff, you get a better conversion on these webinars. It's because you're building trust. People don't want to spend a lot of money with, they watch the sales video. The sales video, you can, you gain that trust a little bit better than just reading and stuff. But when you get on here, I mean, people are asking you questions about it, so they're, you're not trying to guess what they're going to basically look at and is this for me? You can talk them through it. You're answering what their questions that they and the concerns that they have. You're taking care of their objections. But one of the things that I like about this is everybody is, and I wasn't realizing this until tonight, because when we first used it the first time, we didn't have access to the live chat on the side. But everybody is watching this chat window and stuff, and everybody can see everybody's messages, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Which it's great because people are engaging with each other, though.
And because what happens there is, when you're selling your product on a webinar and stuff, and somebody else they've bought it, they've experienced if they've been happy about it, they're going to start sharing with others, like, yeah, I bought this and stuff, and all of a sudden you got all these people, yeah, I've got this, or I just bought it, and stuff, and you use that as a way, everybody else is looking at it as like, wow, everybody's jumping on board this. I don't want to miss out. People hate to miss out on stuff, and they see everybody else that is starting to buy it. Like on a lot of webinars, GoToWebinar and stuff, you got the person that he's trying to sell on there or whatever, and he's like, oh yeah, so and so just told me they bought. So and so just told me they bought. Right here, people are going to come on here live saying, hey, I just bought this. It's not going to be the presenter that's saying, where you're trying to figure out, are these people really buying? You're going to see, your peers that are actually buying. That's a huge feature on this, I think. Chat window.
Great.
And most of you probably already assumed this, but we could just as easily disable the public chat. I mean, we've got we got a couple skeptics on here. Fozzie had bought the product and he's got some reservations about it, obviously. I mean, we could easily hide that. So if you're pitching something and you don't want to have a public conversation going on in the sidebar, you can disable the public chat. That's not a problem. In this case, I mean, we're just having a conversation here. We're just hanging out. Obviously, we've got nothing to hide. This is just a product that we found. We tried it. We liked it, and that's why we're showing it off.
Exactly. It's a great tool, and what I love here is actually some of you guys are helping answer questions, because Fozzie's in here going, well, look, to the person right above, this is the answer to the question, it's great, and I'm going to come out on a whim and say this, and you guys could say if I'm wrong, but I feel like this is the most engagement we've ever had on a webinar. When you compare to what we've done on GoToWebinar, would you guys agree there? It's unreal. I don't recall seeing this many stuff just constantly rolling in. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, especially the interaction between the guests. Between the guests.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got conversations going on that we're not even necessarily a part of.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah, in that regard, definitely.
Yeah, it's huge, and which actually keeps people here longer, which is another plus, I think. It's going to make people stay here. As far as the monthly charges, then also what Charles was saying is that the price is going to go up. It's going to be more expensive, and then it's eventually going to become a monthly service. So this is your chance to get this at a one-time fee. So to me, I would jump in at this now, because literally for the price it's at now, you're going to be kicking yourself later. So yeah, you can definitely do that. Yeah, Henry says, can you kick somebody off if they're just getting too negative? Is this possible? Actually, you can. So you just it's just a one click. I'm not going to do it to anybody, but and really, I mean, if somebody's a skeptic, that actually is good because it gives you a selling opportunity to kind of overcome other objections other people may have, and so it's good to keep them there. Now, again, if you get somebody out there that's swearing at other people or putting people down, then yeah, you could definitely block them. It's just a one click back here. I could actually click on anybody's name here and just block that user. So that's a cool feature as well, because you could get people that can get out of line, and so it definitely has that fail safe in there.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I like that you can disable the chat window or enable it and stuff, because you could actually go through your whole presentation without the chat, because that there would be on occasion that might be a little bit of a distraction for people. People, instead of paying attention to what's going on, they might get involved in conversations and stuff going on. But so I mean, that's kind of cool that you can disable that or whatever. Maybe at that certain point it's like we're going to enable chat so everybody can come on at that point and stuff. But
oh, definitely. What I posted there just came from Sandra. She said, on GoToWebinar, you feel all alone, and here there's a community. So that's great. So Sandra says, with the basic, I cannot stream a video I've already made. I need to upgrade to do that. Sandra, we'll let Jonathan, Charles, or Lester answer that one real quick. I definitely want to defer to them. I want to give you the correct answer to that one. So yeah, you can do the live webinar, exactly. So some people were wondering, they were kind of saying, like, if I spend $51 on this, am I going to be able to do webinars? And that's 100% accurate. You're going to be able to do webinars on this. So yep, you're going to be able to do that. They're actually sending in the colors right now at the Navy base. So
yeah, Brian says, can the webinar be saved and uploaded to YouTube? Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
And it can go automatically. Like, the one thing is you log into your YouTube account, and so what better way to create content, because content is king and video traffic is enormous. So what better way to create content than to get on a short 30-minute webinar, and you're creating content and engaging with your audience. And you know what? Even if you don't have your audience yet, just having a tool like this that automatically puts it up on YouTube for you makes it simple. It's worth the one-time fee because you're not paying monthly, and you're going to eventually start growing that audience up. And so even if you don't have an audience yet, this is still a powerful tool. Let's see here, Henry. Wow, this is just awesome. We agree. So
again, the URL, actually, it's been like I guess it's been almost an hour since we actually mentioned the URL or the buy link.
I've been throwing it in there a few times.
Paul's been throwing it in there, but the actual URL is you want to read it out? It's paulcounts.com /
Get Webinar Fusion. So Get Webinar Fusion, I'm actually going to throw it up onto a Word document here, and then everybody can also see it as well. And then, like I just scrolled across your screen, in 1 hour and 39 minutes, the price is going to go up. So 1 hour and 38 minutes. Oh my goodness, the clock just shifted. So 1 hour and 38 minutes.
Hey, Paul, did you see David's comment there?
What'd he say?
If you can hear colors, you should stand and face the flag until it ends.
I should have.
And if that would have been me on that end and stuff, I probably would have. But I was in the military. I was actually on a base just really close to where Paul is right now.
Well, what's the rule if you can't see the flag? I don't know if he can actually see the flag from his deck.
No, I can't. But I should have faced that way. I do it sometimes. I do sometimes. I didn't know if it'd be. I actually thought about it, but I didn't know if it'd be appropriate for this webinar. So it probably would have been. So. All right. Let's see here. It never gets old, and then in the morning we wake up to the Star Spangled Banner, which I love. So it does not get much better than that. All right.
I have slept in Paul's basement and can personally attest to that.
Yep. That's where only the best for my business partners. All right. Let's see here. Share. Screen share, and let's show my Word document. Another cool feature, I wish you guys could see this. When I go to screen share, what I actually do is I could actually pick to show my entire screen, which is everything. I could show my Google Hangout window. I can pick which web browser window I want to show. I could choose my notepad, which is open, or I could choose my Word document. So I don't even have to think about what I'm showing. It just it just makes it easy. It's just so seamless. And so you guys should be seeing the link right now. Are you guys seeing that?
Yes.
Fantastic. So there it is. There is the link. paulcounts.com/get webinar fusion.
So a couple of questions were coming in about the front end and the upgrade, and Charles had kindly answered those, but I'll just go ahead and chime in and mention them vocally as well. But basically, the front end allows you to do live webinars, and if you wanted to use their special recording feature where you can download the MP4s, that's with the upgrade. So you have to upgrade to be able to do that. So basically, we recommend that you grab the upgrade as well.
Yeah. Oh, totally. And it's, while it's at its lowest price, you may as well. Someone asked about how to get support. They were saying they didn't hear anything. I will attest they have phenomenal support, and they've been holding my hand through this process to make sure we get it all dialed in, and it's been fantastic. And so they have a very large team of extremely capable people. In fact, one of them is on here right now, Charles, and Dolly's another one. They got some great people there that are supporting this, and so there's our support desk link. Let's see. The ticker at the bottom, we'll have to find out what. I'm not exactly sure which version that comes in at, but let me show you that one more time. So we'll let the countdown continue. Actually, let me show you what else it does. Show alert. Is it blinking for you guys right now? That's almost distracting. All right, so let's show you the other option. There's a no effect option as well.
All right, so what's the cost of the upgrade? I'll let Charles answer that one.
Yep, definitely. So it looks like Charles said all versions do the ticker. So somebody had that question.
So how do you get to sign up to be an affiliate after you buy it? You can sign up to be an affiliate in JVZoo.
And this will be an ongoing product, but this is your time to get it at its best price possible.
And also we've got a bonus package that we're throwing in that comes along with it that expires at midnight tonight as well, which is an hour and 34 minutes from now.
Eric, do you have that link offhand? Let me see if I can grab that link, and I'll throw up the bonus page that you.
The bonus page.
Yeah, I think it's Real Shortcut something.
Yeah, realshortcut.com/webinar bonuses, I believe.
Okay, I will give that a shot here, and then we'll go through those bonuses.
Yeah, okay, that's it.
All right, perfect. So let me show my screen here. Screen share. Like a boss. We're already there. All right, so let's go on over here. Here's your bonuses, a little bit of a demo of the software, which you guys saw.
All right, so Paul, once again, like you did before, can you increase the size of your
For sure.
of your screen? Jupiter Jim was asking about that. So right there, Jupiter Jim, he just basically doubled the size of everything on his screen. So yes, it is definitely possible.
Yep, definitely.
So I think the first 4 or 5 bonuses are actually WordPress plugins. Most of you guys have WordPress, so the video ad placer, the highlight and share. These are premium WordPress plugins. The abundant content loader, just great stuff to put on a WordPress site. Linkgate.
Linkgate there. Bonus number 5 is not quite loading, but it's a good one.
It's another WordPress plugin.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yep.
You got bonus number 6 is 50 plus pre-written follow-up emails, so you can use those to promote products or the different niches that they are already written for, or you can customize them for your own uses. And then number 7 is, it says hot website graphics. It's actually like several different graphics packs. So you've got mini site templates, you've got all sorts of different squeeze page graphics, banner ninja, headers explosion. So
yeah, WSO graphics. It's got the whole 9 yards. It's a very thorough package here.
Yeah.
And
so I mean,
I'll put that link here.
You can go through that link right there if you want, but if you go through the link that we already gave on this webinar, you'll automatically get access to those bonuses as well. So that the one at paulcounts.com/get webinar Fusion Pro.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, that is the correct link. So those were all the bonuses there. So let me go back here to the screen. My lovely wife just brought me dinner out here. Looks amazing. Let's see. Yeah, so that the bonuses are very solid, especially the WordPress plugins. You can anytime you can beef up your WordPress, you're doing good.
Yeah.
And I'm really drinking out of a classy cup here, Frosty the Snowman. So only the best for a real guy.
So Andy had said he purchased the product already yesterday. So if you bought it from us previously, then you'll have access to those bonuses as well. You can actually just log into your
JVZoo customer portal.
Your JVZoo customer portal. You'll get that the link in your email, and you can access the bonuses through there. Now, if you had bought it through someone else's affiliate link, and so you're wondering if you can now purchase the upgrade through us and get the bonuses, I mean, yeah, we're certainly willing to do that deal. I'm not sure exactly how you would get to it. I guess you would click on our affiliate link, and then you probably would have to get a direct purchase link from Charles or something like that, from their help desk. But if you can figure out how to do that, yeah, you can have our bonuses.
Yep, definitely. I'm going to share that link one more time. We had a few comments said they were trying to find the link again to get our bonuses. So you guys should be seeing that on the screen now.
Yes, we do.
Perfect.
Yep, paulcounts.com/get webinar Fusion Pro. And so we're going to have to wrap this up here pretty quick. So we've been going on over an hour now. Again, the price basically almost doubles at midnight, so that's an hour and a half from now. So, there is a money-back guarantee. So again, we're not trying to be pushy or anything, but it's like if you're going to get it, you might as well get it now.
Yeah, totally.
It just makes sense. And then also Paul's had a pretty long day. I know he you got in at about 2:30 last night from
2:30 last night from Arizona.
Arizona.
Yep. And then I had my wife's uncle who lives with us had a heart attack, so we had that go on. And then he's good. He had 2 stents put in. We're actually going to go to the hospital here in a little bit, and then I actually fly out for Atlanta to go to David Perdue's NAMS event to speak on Friday. So
when you're flying out, like tomorrow or?
Yeah, tomorrow. But I actually catch the 3 a.m. shuttle to the airport. So.
Oh, so yes.
So I got a few hours.
Sleep last night. And you're not going to get much sleep tonight either.
Nope.
if any.
So
And typically, and knowing Paul, if he does decide to go to sleep, he may end up missing that shuttle. So
yeah, it'll be on the airplane. So it's luckily it's a nonstop about a 5-hour flight. So it's nonstop Seattle to Atlanta. So I'll be able to sleep there. So
that's good. So you're going to be in Atlanta on Friday, you said?
Friday, yep. I speak on Friday, and I believe they'll stream some of it live as well from the first part of it. But
Okay.
but yeah. So
Well, if anybody lives in the Atlanta area, I don't know if they're still selling
Definitely.
tickets, probably. But was
Obviously.
that David Purdue's event? Just
yeah,
look it
David
up. I'm sure
Perdue.
if you
Yeah.
want,
Yep.
if you want to meet Paul Counts, go check that out. And
And I will actually take you to eat. Honestly, Yep, we do that for our students and our subscribers and all that. So
I'm sure you could probably get in touch with the help desk or something, and Paul can get you a link as well.
yep, definitely.
So
All right. So let's show. Let me show that link again. I guess it is showing up there. So again, we're down to 1 hour 28 minutes.
yeah, you're welcome for doing this demo, Kim. And Jesse, to answer your question, so first of all, yeah, thanks for purchasing it through our link. We appreciate it. And asking if there's a download or is it treated like a membership? I believe it's treated more like a membership, isn't there? There's a membership area where you can
Yeah.
go in at any time.
It is, yeah, and that's actually where I was when I was
Yeah.
demonstrating. I was actually inside the Webinar Fusion members portal. You have access to your bonuses back there, the Fusion Club if you go that far, help desk access, access to all your back webinars, your subscribers, the whole 9 yards. It's all back there. It's in a webinar system, so it's not a traditional download type page.
Cool.
All right.
Well, it looks like the sun has set in the Pacific Northwest, and
It has.
the sun is definitely set here in Colorado as well. I'm going to have to get some rest as well because I'm going to go skiing again tomorrow. So.
Oh, awesome. That'll be great.
Oh, that sounds awesome too.
Have a great time.
Thanks.
All right,
All
you
right.
guys have a good night.
Hey,
All
thanks
right.
everyone, and thanks for joining us on tonight's webinar. We really appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thank you, guys. Okay, so Eric and Jeff.
Did you click to end the webinar?
Oh,